What? People love mobile games more than movies. Is this not something cool? Why you ask? Well, video or mobile games are addictive. Time flies by when you are playing. Doubt me, ask a player. Sleep, hunger, and fatigue matter no more to a true lover of games. They are sucked all in, and fun begins when you see them win. They will shout, jump, and announce to the whole world their highest score attained. It would appear as if they scaled Mount Everest. Today, mobile game developers use a use lot of psychology to devices devise such games. Each and every level is a games like Blue Whale, Momo, and PUBG. While Blue Whale up, upted many a player's suicide, PUBG is the largest range of young generation with such a high addiction levels. Players spend countless hours glued to their mobiles and gaming consoles. The addiction games is big hit. Even apps like Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok heavily use such a psychological ploys to keep users logged on to their website and apps. The ROI is so huge most of the educational apps to have started employing addictive measures in their apps. Lesson. Addiction is good and yields result if we use in the right manner. Give a choice which one of your activities would be choose. An activity that is boring is routine does not provide you any kick. B. An activity that challenges you is interesting and the one which rewards you when every time you win. Chances are most of you would have chosen B as an option. The below example will show you the strange transformation that happens to people when they start playing a game. I was there to take a few printouts. The internet cafe was chock a block. There I had the opportunity to watch some teenagers play video game and enter internet parlor. And believe me, it was an experience of lifetime. They were out in a gang. The four were cheering, jumping, and shouting to their heart content. They were behaving as if they had been transferred to another world. The parlor manager scolded them several times during my half hour stay. Now, this one is interesting. Out of the four seemed to be newbie, means they are noob, and his game was there to teach him reach the next level in the game. They were cheering every milestone he crossed, and they patted his back every time he fell short. The gang kept motivating him. Keep on, dude, you are killing it, just step one more take. I mean, the atmosphere was electrifying. The gang was hell bent on making their friends approve, and the new player too was learning the rope fast. With that kind of encouragement, he would get up every time and would fall. Oh, he was not flattered after his fall. He would pick himself up and start playing again with the same enthusiasm. What an attitude! When you have a support system like that, you will never fail in life. That is what is called a never say die attitude. Now imagine the same young player trying to learn English. Guess the number of days he will last. My strong feeling is he will not even last for a week or let alone a month. He will quit the moment someone's make fun of his pronunciation. He will leave the learning if it is taking more time. He will quit the moment things become uncomfortable. The player remains same, the friends remain same, the difficulty too is comparable, but the result are varied. So what changes? The attitude. Lesson. When playing video game, the student has an attitude that makes him failure proof. He can absorb failure. He will keep walking even if it hurts and eventually win the video game. But when the same student start to learn English, he will leave the learning process midway. He cannot handle the initial hesitation, embarrassment, and failure that comes naturally with any learning process. A big banyan tree to start with a small seed. What a learners do to understand here is there will be a few failed attempts in the beginning. No, one does not become Shakespeare in a day, and it is during the initial learning. Please That attitude plays an important role. Imagine the learners borrowing the attitude of video games players during the initial few months. Imagine them failing at keeping a smile face every time they face the initial problems. Imagine them having a rock solid, never say die attitude. I promise the learning then would not take a year, 6 months, or 3 months. Learning then would happen in a days. Correct me if I am wrong. Let me give another fact. Do you know the percentage of people who buy costly plants yet do not hit the gym? Make a guess. Let your imagination run wild. It's 90%. Yes, 90% of people quit after 3 months of joining the gym. And a similar trend is seen in English learning too. Due to use of all outdated and boring techniques, thousands of learners leave the learning process midway. One of the biggest reason they quit early is the lack of your healthy attitude. They take failure personally and quit. They feel embarrassed. Solution: turn English into a game of sorts. Know the English learning involves failing many times initially and build a rock solid attitude to absorb such failures. In fact, Mark Green suggests an outstanding way to remove the fear of failures, which is famously called the Mark Green way. The Mark Green in his TED talk suggests converting the English language process into a video game for faster language acquisition. He suggested converting the boring lessons plans in the language in a series of steps, a game of sorts. He argues language learning in a dull routine. If the same is not converted into some exciting things, the learner will have multiple reasons to quit halfway through. He says consider learning of English language as a game of 52 cards, a full deck of 52 cards at that. Imagine all the cards are hidden from your view. They are all turned upside down and you are required to turn every card so that it faces you. When all the cards are facing you, you win. So, to begin with, no card is towards you, that is, no card faces you. You start to turn them one by one. Imagine it takes efforts and skill to turn each card to your side. Imagine each turning of the card is filled with challenges and assume there are three states in the game as below. When 25% of the cards are facing you, you attain basic fluency. Staggle. When 50% cards are face you, when 50% cards face you, your fluency is above average. Stage 2. At scores of 75% and above, you have attained mastery in English. Stage 3. And when you have cleared past all the levels, you are master of a territory. See figure the below. Mark explained the stage-wise difficulty as below. Stage, according to Mark, is the most difficult of them all. According to Mark, is the most difficult of them all. Your target. Turn 25% English cards so they face you. You will feel lost here. You will feel lost here. You will feel you are pushing against the wall. Nothing moves in spite of all efforts. There are no improvement in your English levels here. I mean, no visible improvements. You keep walking, but still you stay in the same place you feel. There is fear. There is frustration. Your efforts you will feel are going down the drain. The stage can last from anywhere between 0 to 3 months for different classes of learners. Since you cannot see any visible difference in your English skills, here you feel like a loser. You feel all efforts are in vain and you should leave playing this game. Since you cannot see any visible difference in your English speaking, here you feel like a loser. You feel like your efforts are in vain and that you should leave the playing the game. If thousands, if not millions of students quit at this age, worst part, they will not reach the stage second. Do not come expecting miracles in the stage says Mark. This stage required to keep adding the bricks on the above other, keep adding the numbers of hours spent learning in. Other words, keep filling those RSLW files in your English folder even if do not see any visible results immediately. When you have invested a sizable amount, 1 to 3 months depending upon the learner in the stage without expecting much in returns, you will start seeing a visible improvements and you will be ready for the stage 2. Stage 2 is where you have Where Makki Stage 2 is where you have achieved a hang of the topic. Stage I has built up muscles. You turn 25% cards upside down. Life is now smoother now. You can see patterns in language. You can see trends. You can now tell me if sentence is right or wrong. You can now answer basic question in targeted language. It is the way easier than stage 1. You will thank God that you have cleared stage 1. You will start enjoying the lesson now. It is fun. You can create a small sentences of your own by mixing and machine phrases. Your fluency levels are improving with every new day of practice. You have successfully turned approximately 50% of the card upside down so they face you. Stage 2 is comparatively shorter than stage 1. With every other day, every hour you put in extra, you will see a difference in result. Best part here, your result become different proportional to your efforts. This stage should last anywhere from 4 months to 12 months according to Mark Green. This time the variable depending on the efforts a learner puts in. I will in I will in chapter 32 show you how other polygons clear stage 1 and 2 less than a month alone. Depending upon the requirement you put efforts in this stage. You may, if you want to quit playing the game at this age, you by the end of stage 2 the achievement desired levels of language mastery. Stage 3 with will provide you with a PhD in the topic. So if you want to sound like a scholar or want you English to match the level of a erudite professional, keep learning. As discussed in the earlier chapter, 10,000 hours will make you pro. Accept it. The journey of acquiring mastery over English language will not be smooth. The path is riddled with potholes and the numerical hurdles. And this is why many and brave hearts leaves the learning halfway through. But as soon as change the rules of game, you get an upper edge with a change attitude. You play an English language learning game in stage. You know the road is tough and you are prepared for the face the initial hiccups. Want to add more fun to the game? Ask a friend to compare with you. Throw in the challenge. Go find if you can beat your friend in the game. Go find who can scale the pyramid fast. And with the change attitude, let me assure you you will surely win the game. Question remains: are you ready to play this game of cards? Do you have it is in your clear stage? I am in the minimum possible time. Can you beat the polyglots who complete stage 1 in a 1 month? Can you beat the fastest and the best players in the game? Do you have it you break their all time best card records? Can you survive failing multiple times and still keep smiling? The choice is yours. Mark Green provides an outstanding video game way. According to most of language researchers, success rate of mastering improves considerable if the learner is having fun through the learning process. If the journey is boring and the riddle with hundreds, no one will have the motivation to finish the journey. So, as I said, the choice is yours. Do you want to result fast? You are happy with the old school result. Question is whether you want to move in a sport car or keep riding the old bullock cart. Some said if you want to change the way you look, change the way you cook. People in the fat loss industry will tell you better. No amount of exercise will change your body fat percentage. You will be surprised to know that fat loss is depend 90% on what you eat rather than how many times you exercise. It's scientifically proved now, and there is ample evidence to back this claim. So, guess what? People subscribing old school spend countless number of hours gymming, sprinting, and exercising. Result: stubborn fat refuse to melt. Smart, young, savvy one focus on changing their diet 95% and exercising 5%. Result: they reach their fat loss goal faster. You too want to better and faster result, right? Trust me, try changing your attitude for once. Treat this learning exercise as a game. Build the rock solid. Never say die attitude. Brush aside the initial failure and will come inevitably. And guess what? You will reach your goal faster and better. It's time to popular myth around language acquisition. Do I have your attention? Let's shoot. The chapter completed in 15 minutes. I